Hi, I'm Mrs. Stickle, and I'm one of the academic interventionists here at David Urey. We have been reading Toys Go Out. Today, we will begin Chapter 3, starting on page 35. The terrifying bigness of the washing machine. Lumpy has peanut butter on him. Here is how it happened. He went on a picnic. The little girl and her father walked to a park where there was a big pond and lots of grass and sunshine. The girl carried Lumpy all the way there, holding on to his tail. It didn't hurt. And then they all three sat on a patchwork blanket and ate peanut butter and jam sandwiches, round green apples, and dried pineapple. They threw rocks into the pond. Then the sky turned dark and it started to rain. The girl and her father ran home as fast as they could with Lumpy in the picnic basket. The lid of the peanut butter jar was not on tight. Lumpy jounced and joggled and got goo all across his face and front legs. It was very greasy. When they arrived home, the girl wiped him with a paper napkin, but he is still a very peanutty buffalo. The father says Lumpy will have to be washed. I don't see what the problem is, says Lumpy to Stingray later that evening. The little girl is out for Chinese food with her parents, and the two of them are building block towers on the shaggy rug. You're dirty, says Stingray, placing a block on top of her pile. It's not dirt, it's food. Food is dirt when it's mashed in your fur. No, it isn't. It's food. Why would it be dirt in your fur, but nice and tasty anywhere else? It would be dirt if it was on the rug, says Stingray, or on the sofa. Food isn't dirty or you wouldn't eat it. I have some nice clean food on me. I don't see that it's a problem that needs washing. If people think it's dirty, then it is, Stingray claims. Plastic rolls by on her way to visit the rocking horse in the corner. People bigger than you, she chimes in. If people bigger than you think it's dirty, that's when it is. Clean is better than dirty, explains Stingray. Like neat is better than messy, and smart is better than stupid, and chocolate is better than lentils, and blue is better than orange. I like orange, mutters Lumpy. Some people do, allows Stingray, lining up her blocks in a neat row, but blue is better. Lumpy does not want to be washed, especially after what Tuk Tuk told him earlier about the bumpety washing machine in the basement, how you go round and round in soapy water, and how it makes you dizzy and sick to your stomach. Lumpy asks Stingray if she knows anything about washing machines. Not from personal experience, Stingray admits. She is dry clean only and has never gotten wet. But she has a lot to say about basements. They are dark and full of rats, she explains. And there are spiders in the corners with 58 legs. And ghosts hide there when the attic is full up. And there are cardboard boxes that anything could pop out of, like sharks or knives or axe murderers, and more dust than you ever saw in your life. I don't know why you would go to a basement to get clean, muses Stingray, because basements are dirty places. That night, Lumpy tells Plastic and Stingray he'll be going away for a while. He keeps his planned hiding place top secret, even from his friends. He doesn't want to take any chances of being discovered. Then he creeps into the closet, squeezing himself back behind a shoebox on the floor. He figures that if the little girl doesn't see him for a few weeks, she'll forget all about washing him. When he emerges from the closet, he'll still be greasy, but she'll think that's just the way he is, not anything that needs to change. I am a greasy buffalo, he says to himself, and it sounds pretty tough. For 3 days, he waits in the closet with only dust and socks for company. He hopes his peanutty smell doesn't give him away. He waits and waits and waits. He does not come out, even when the little girl is at school or asleep, because what if she came home early or woke up from a nightmare? He can't risk it. He is lonely all by himself in the closet. One day, the little girl is searching for a particular pair of socks. She opens the door and begins rummaging right near where Lumpy is hiding. She's moving shoes and boxes and other bits of clutter. "Peanut butter," she says to her mother. "What smells like peanut butter?" Lumpy dives head first into a soccer shoe. It is muddy from the girl's practice the day before. He's too big for it and has to scrunch his head all the way down into the toe in order to hide. Even then, his bottom is sticking out pretty far, and he is so worried about being found that his tail wags back and forth without him doing it on purpose. He holds his breath and tries to stop his tail. It won't stop. He tries to squeeze his bottom in so it won't be sticking out. It won't squeeze. He tries not to smell like peanut butter, but he stinks. The little girl roots around in the closet for 8 days. Well, it is really 8 minutes, but it feels like 8 days to Lumpy. Finally, the girl finds her particular sock and goes away. Lumpy tries to get out. He wiggles, he woggles, he grunts and humps and pushes, but he's still in the shoe with his bottom sticking out. "Help!" he yells, but he is too deep in for anyone to hear him. It is a long day and a long night stuck in the shoe. Around 4 a.m., the one-eared sheep wanders into the closet, following an interesting smell that she smells. Lumpy can tell it is her because she makes a snorty noise when she walks. "What are you doing in there?" Sheep wants to know. Says Lumpy. "Come out, I can't hear you." "What?" "Sorry," says the sheep. "It's my ear. I lost it." Sheep doesn't understand. She is distracted by the tasty-looking lace of the soccer shoe. It's not grass, and it's not clover, but it looks pretty chewable to the sheep. She settles down next to the shoe and has herself a lovely munch, pulling the lace out bit by bit. She hears a woeful noise, and it's irritating, but she doesn't let it bother her. Pretty soon the sound quiets down to nothing. When she is done chewing the lace, Sheep is mildly surprised to find herself in the closet. She burps and goes out to play pick-up sticks with the toy mice. 2 hours later, Lumpy, who fell asleep wedged in the dampness of the soccer shoe, wakes up to find he can lift his head. The lace has been chewed into 14 small pieces, and without it, the shoe flops open. Lumpy waggles his shoulders and stands up. Then he steps gingerly out and creeps into the bedroom to find the one-eared sheep dozing on the rug. "Thanks," he whispers, nuzzling her woolly face. "You're a true friend." Sheep has no idea what he is talking about. Just then, the little girl rolls over and makes a mumbly noise. She's waking up. Rumpa-lumpa, rumpa-lumpa, Lumpy gallops at top speed and dives behind the rocking horse in the corner. The girl stands and puts on her clothes. Then she begins looking around, under the bed, behind the bookshelf, even in the back of the closet where Lumpy used to be hiding. She's searching the room as if she's lost something, rooting through the toy shelf, tossing whirly tops and colored markers and board games and mice every which way. Then Lumpy hears a sad sound. He has heard it before, but not often. The little girl is crying. "He's not here," she wails. "I need him." Lumpy peeks through the legs of the rocking horse so he can see the girl's face. Her cheeks are wet. "Lumpy, Lumpy," The girl throws herself on the bed, buries her face in the pillow, and weeps. She misses me, Lumpy realizes. She thinks I'm gone forever. The idea had never occurred to him. He rushes out from behind the horse. Ag! He remembers the washing machine and runs back behind the horse's legs. Ag! The little girl is crying. Out again. Ag! The washer! Back behind the legs. Crying. Out. Washer. Back. Cry. Wash. Out. Back. Ag! Lumpy cannot stand it anymore. He loves the little girl and he hates to make her cry. So although he is desperately afraid of the washing machine and of the deep, dark basement with its ghosts and rats and axe murderers, he creeps out from behind the horse while the little girl is sobbing into her pillow. Quietly, Lumpy tips over one of the green rubber boots sitting near the foot of the bed. Then he lies down very cleverly right in front of the boot, as if he'd been shoved down in there and only spilled out when the boot tipped over. When the girl stops crying and looks around for a tissue, she sees Lumpy lying there. She picks him up and kisses him all over his peanut buttery face, squeezing him until he thinks his buffalo teeth might fall out. Lumpy, she cries, you were in my boot. She pets his head. How did you get in my boot, you sweetie, sweetie? For a moment, life is wonderful. Lumpy is happy. Then the girl smells him. You stink like peanut butter, she says. And you're greasy. But don't worry, Lumpy. I know just what to do about that.